Because that period there.
Hold on. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like you man's energy. I'm still like, you know, I mean what you man was saying previously, like I'm bothered by it, innit? But let me just like explain something, innit? What you have to understand, yeah, is
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 69 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast with your boys Peter, Mohammed, myself Yemi. It's the 69th episode, lads. What we doing? How we saying?
Yeah, we're here, man.
Hey,
All
man.
glory to the Most High.
God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good. Very, very good. Very, very good. How's your week been, boys?
It's been good, bro. Just working. Do you know what I mean? Just keeping busy with work. That's it, really.
Pretty much the same, to be fair.
Yeah.
Mohammed?
Same, man. I've been fasting. Ramadan.
Ramadan Mubarak.
I
And
appreciate
all that good
you.
stuff. We got it right this time.
Say again.
We said Eid Mubarak first.
Yo, I was about to say drinks.
You know what it is?
Oh, do you know what's
I follow,
crazy?
You know what it is? I follow Peter's lead because I thought it was Ramadan Mubarak.
Bro, I
was
looked
like,
at it.
He said it.
No,
I was
it
like,
took me a minute because I looked. I was like, these man are idiots, fam. And it's the way you lot said it with chest. Eid Mubarak. I'm like,
Nah, that's me. That was me.
you man don't know I need to fast first.
yeah, I follow Peter's lead on that one.
Yeah, no. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Ramadan Mubarak to you and to everybody else observing Ramadan as well.
Yeah, man, it's all good. But yeah, it's been smooth, man. It's a bit of a tricky one because I find it easy because I'm used to not eating. So it's just not eating, but it's the easiest part of that. It's just the mentally trying to get right.
You've been praying and stuff.
Praying, yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I've been praying, but it's just little stuff like swearing.
You've been to mosque?
Yeah. Trying to go. Try to get Tarawih in when I can, innit? So,
How often do you go?
what, Tarawih? We'll speak about it after the pod.
Alright, cool. Because now I want to come.
Come with me.
Yeah,
Honestly, come with me.
pull up, yeah.
We could try even arrange it for next week if you want.
Yeah, I'm down, man.
I'll even come south if you want.
Yeah,
There's one in
cool.
Brixton.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a
Oh,
mosque in Brixton.
You want to come to South now, yeah?
Yeah, no, because I used to go Brixton Mosque a lot growing up, college times. I used to be in Brixton Mosque red because some of my friends are reverts. There's a lot of reverts at that mosque. So I used to be in Brixton Mosque heavy.
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about.
It's literally off the stage. It's like a house kind of.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about.
So that one we used to go regularly to Drummer there when I was college times. So yeah, come through.
Yeah.
But yeah, alhamdulillah, man.
Cool.
Ramadan's been good.
I hear that, man. Shout out to Drake's, our cameraman behind
up.
the camera.
Salute to Drake.
Always.
To you earlier and I bugged out. I can't lie.
Appreciate you, bro. And we appreciate everybody for listening, whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, whether you're on Amazon Music, whether you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. We started recently dropping visuals. So if you're not following us on YouTube or watching us on YouTube, please do.
Can I shout someone out?
Please do.
Can I shout out the TikTok audience?
Oh,
and the
gosh.
reason being is we've put our recent Chief Keef debate on TikTok. Clearly, I'm with the people. So I appreciate you guys for acknowledging Chief Keef.
Yeah,
legend.
pretty much.
Case closed.
Yeah, pretty much when we posted that clip on our socials, the Chief Keef segment, it was very much overwhelmingly to the side of Chief Keef being a legend.
Hey, what can I say?
So everybody that said that, I mean, more power to you. The TikTok massive, the Instagram massive. I want to shout out one particular person that one of us knows that was very much on the Chief Keef train. And yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, very much. Thank you very much. It was one of the more
That was
divisive.
completely unnecessary.
Yeah, was it? It was one of the more divisive topics that we've done. So yeah, appreciate everybody's input on that one there.
Hey, salute to them.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, type in Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. Follow us. Helps us grow. As a pod, as a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? And you get to see all of our reactions in 4K as well, which is always nice.
Hey, man.
Moving on now to what we've been listening to this week. I'll start with you, Peter. What have you been listening to?
I've checked out Alex Isley and Jack Dine's new album, which is called Marigold, which is very, very dope, very sultry, smooth. It's nice music to play when you're having a little nightcap. You know what I mean? With a little sweet one and that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll definitely recommend it, man, for all the romantic people out there. Mo, you need it in your life. I told you, bro. You need some love in your life. So I would recommend you check this album out.
Man, alhamdulillah.
Shout out to all the sweet ones out
Do you
there.
know what I mean?
It's Ramadan, man. It's Ramadan.
I've been listening to a jazz drummer called Max Roach. He dropped an album called Members Don't Get Wary. This was like back in I feel like the 60s. It's a really dope album. And I've been listening to Fela Kuti's album Confusion, which is just fire. It's like 26. It's one song, 26 minutes of like just musical like mastery. So yeah, that's been me, man.
Very dope. Mohammed, what about yourself?
I've been easy on music this week, I'll be honest with you, because of Ramadan. So ain't really been looking. I haven't been listening to music too much. I went back to Big Conspiracy a lot.
Okay.
I went back to Big Conspiracy. But yeah, this week's been light for music just because.
Well, you've been listening to Pusha T and Jay-Z's new collab, Neck and Wrist.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I just want to say Jay-Z's the GOAT. It's very evident, even though there's about to be a hater that's about to pipe up, and that's absolutely fair, because I don't think you've heard the song.
No, I heard the song yet.
Cool, so the audience, I'll let you acknowledge who the hater is. But the verse was, wait, you don't like the verse?
So this week on Twitter, there's been a whole thing where it's like post your most cancelable tweet, whether it's like music take
Yeah.
or like food take or whatever. So on the pod Twitter, I posted that Jay-Z verse on Neck and Wrist is not the godly verse you think it is. Because while a good verse, I don't think it's his best. I think the phase I'm on, love, is the same as the comedy sign I failed. So he's very much relying on similar motifs, which is cool, fine, whatever. I think generally the song is cool, but it's not like anything to like get me gassed or get me excited.
I'm not saying it's one of his greatest verses, but when LeBron drops 38, you're still, LeBron drops 38 is age. The fact that he's this old giving you this verse, that's what the gas is.
But we know Jay-Z can do that though.
But when he does it, I love it. Do you get what I mean?
I think it's the novelty.
When Jay-Z decides to come out and give you a verse and it's a verse that he's not half-hearted on,
but I think it's the novelty of a Jay verse because you don't get that very often. So when we do get it and it's of a quality, people are going to go about it.
They should.
And that's what I have an issue with.
They should. Jay-Z deserves that kind of reaction in my opinion.
But he's been doing this his whole career, bro.
And every time he comes out with a verse now, we should treasure it a bit more. That's my point.
And I understand that. But I'm not about to give him brownie points just because. That's all.
But you can give him a salute though.
That's all
I salute the verse, but I'm not.
And I salute it.
I'm not creaming my pants
Did
about
you
it.
salute it?
Whoa.
I'm not creaming my pants about it. That's all.
Did you salute it?
He didn't. He's a hater.
Salute.
It didn't really sound like it.
Nah.
Salute to Jay-Z.
Based on what you were saying in the group chat, it sounded like
I said it's
said
cool.
you thought it was. It sounded like you thought it was meaty.
I
said it was cool, but not his best.
Verse?
I don't think it's a meaty verse, but I think it's a cool verse, but I don't think it's his best.
Cool.
But it won't be his best.
But what I'm saying is everybody's acting like it is.
That's fair.
That's why I have an issue with.
Speaking of great verses, someone else dropped a great verse as well. Who? J. Cole.
Oh yes, he dropped a collab with Bia
Yeah.
on a song called London,
Yeah.
which was set in London.
Yeah.
You know, Bia and J. Cole traveled to London. They got Unknown T and they got a couple of models as backup dancers, all that good stuff, which was great. Listen, Unknown T was just in the video, in the background. And there were a couple of models that I know as well. You know, shout out to all of them, but they were just there, innit? Bia's verse was terrible, and J. Cole's verse was all right, but I couldn't get past the English accent.
Cole spazzed on that.
He was
song,
dropping
man.
English accent.
Cole spazzed on it.
It kind of jarred me, the English accent.
Cole spazzed on that. You haven't heard it.
He didn't spaz.
Why would I do that?
He didn't spaz.
We've got 3 years.
He didn't spaz. He didn't spaz. He didn't spaz.
No.
He spazzed on Johnny P's caddy.
What you said to him, he's just disrespectful. He goes, "Why would I listen?"
Why would I listen to that?
You wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I think personally Cole spazzed on that. I think Cole
No,
lost his head.
he spazzed on Johnny P's caddy. He didn't spaz on London.
I think
Personally.
he spazzed on London, man. I think he got 2 arguably great verses from Cole.
Oh, listen, salute to him. I think he should have won the Grammy, but we'll get into that.
So what he was doing in an English accent?
Nah, man. He just there's a bit
Throughout. It wasn't like constantly, but it was like peppered throughout.
And Unknown T, by the way,
great.
tweeted J. Cole's going to be on his album.
Did you believe that though?
I don't know why he will lie. That'll just be a bit corny. Like if J. Cole's not on your album now, you just look corny to me.
I personally think.
you know what I mean?
I personally think his whole presence in that video was kind of corny because I feel like we're at a stage in the UK where we stand tall by ourselves as like entities. The minute like some so-so rapper called Bia and J. Cole, granted, one of the GOATs of the generation, come on, you're so quick to be in their video.
Okay,
you're so
but-
quick to
aye,
do
but
that.
now
It's
if
like,
they-
I don't know, man.
but what if
It
now-
reminds me of the whole Kanye and the whole grime scene being backup dancers at the Brits. It rubs me up the wrong way.
But now, if he's on Unknown T's album, was it worth it?
Yes,
All right, fair enough.
100%. But
you gotta wait
I'm not. I'm not sure he will be, but we'll see.
Hey, man. So
Plus,
these are Unknown-
doesn't J. Cole charge like 2,000 a word for a verse?
a word.
Something like that. I read
Hey.
it somewhere.
He's got every right to. But that being said, you never know. He just might show Unknown T love. He's never collabed with a UK artist.
No, I mean, listen, if he does, great. It'd be a great collab, I imagine. But I don't know, man. I have an issue with like us just running to the nearest US star that comes to London and just being in their video.
I feel you.
I mean,
I feel you.
it's very much like bend me over backwards. And anyway, I've been listening to what have I been listening to? I've been listening to an EP by an artist called Shay.
chat to your man.
I've been listening to. You admire the segue though. Anyway,
It was great.
Exactly. So I've been listening to an EP by an artist called Shay Universe. She's a London-based artist. She dropped an EP called Unorthodox, which is basically like when R&B and drill meet and become R and drill, which is basically like a subgenre of drill. Very, very dope. It's got Koji Radical on it. It's got a couple others on it, and it's really, really dope. She can sing, and yeah, man, very dope. I recommend everybody check that out. I've also been listening to the new Cruel Santino album, which is called Subaru Boys Final Heaven. If you don't know Cruel Santino, he is a very dope Nigerian out artist, which is kind of like mystical, kind of like hip-hop inspired / alternative inspired kind of music.
Mystical.
It's kind of mystical.
It's in danger.
No, not
That's
that
what I
kind of-
thought at
not that
first.
kind of-
I'll be-
mystical with a C.
Because I thought that at first, but then the way he explained it, I was like,
No, but if you listen to it, you'll kind of get what I mean. But yeah, very, very dope. Yeah, Cool Santino, formerly known as Santi. He gave us songs like Freaky on his last one and Sparky. Very, very dope. So check that out. And on the rap front, I've been listening to a kind of half beat tape / not so much beat tape by a guy called Bliss. He dropped a project called Raja's Son, which is very, very dope. Lo-fi kind of raw, underground sounding kind of production and stuff.
That sounds like something Yemi would listen to. You know, Yemi likes these under the underground type.
Under the
artists as well.
underground.
Under the
Legit.
underground, bro.
Railroad underground rap. Like,
I respect it though.
Someone's got to.
Hey man, I was salute to you.
Someone's got to. You know what I mean?
We know
Everybody.
Pete won't.
Listen,
It's not true.
we out here applauding meaty Jay-Z verses. I'm here representing the underground.
At
It's
least
crazy,
you
isn't it?
meaty. Oh.
But yeah, that's what I've been listening to. So shout out to all those artists. So we're going to get on now to the first topic. And we're going to be talking about something that, you know, everybody likes to talk about when it comes to the season for award giving. We're going to talk about the Grammys.
The slap. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Grammys, our favorite award ceremony. So over the past weekend, I think it was last weekend, the Grammy Awards happened. Shout out to Tyler, the Curator, who won the Best Rap Album for Call Me If You Get Lost. And shout out to Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar for winning Best Rap Performance for Family Ties. Now, obviously, the Grammys are always going to be a source of contention for people who feel like, you know, their favorite artist should have won an award, whatever award it might be. And the conversation that I saw around Twitter following the Grammys, especially on the British side, was kind of like, when is British rap going to be acknowledged by the Grammys? We've done so much to kind of like, you know, be recognized and be acknowledged for that sort of thing, even with nominations or anything. So it kind of got me thinking, when will that happen? When will British rap, when will the UK rap scene be acknowledged by the Grammys and, you know, be not necessarily accepted, but, you know, for them to look at us and say, oh yeah, you lot are doing great things. You know, here's a nomination here, here's a nomination there, whatever. And what are kind of the blockers kind of blocking that basically. But first things first, boys, what did you think of, you know, Tyler winning Best Rap Album and, you know, Baby Keem and Kendrick winning their Grammy as well?
I think I called it. I think I had Family Ties as my song of the year. I think I had Tyler, the Creator's album of the year. In hindsight, looking back, I think they got it right. Surprisingly, first time ever. Well, not first.
Who else was nominated for an album?
So it was J. Cole, The Off Season, Drake, Certified Lover Boy, Kanye West, Donda. Did I say J. Cole?
Yeah, Cole, Off Season, Certified Lover Boy, King's Disease 2, and Donda. I would have been happy with Cole or Call Me If You Get
Was Tyler's album better than Cole's?
That's what I'm saying. Between them two, I would
I
have
don't know if it was.
I think they're talking to each other. I would have preferred Cole to win just because that album I went back to a lot more. Plus, I think he deserved it. But I'm not mad at Tyler either, to be fair.
Look, I go back to Cole's album way more.
Same.
I was just going off first time I listened to both. I wouldn't be mad whoever wins it. So they got it right. I'll give them that. But first time ever, I don't congratulate them or anything for it. The amount of times these lot have got it wrong. I want to say salute to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? It's about time if you want me to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think they got it right as well. It's about time they started getting things right. Do you know what I mean? Nas had to wait how long before he won something? I think this was his
Whole
first
career.
performance ever on the Grammys as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it took him long enough. So, no, I would say they got it right as well. I think Tyler's like works very hard. And I feel like creatively, within like the last like 2-3 years, it seems like he's reached like his creative apex, innit? I feel like he's in like the form of his life. So it's nice to see him get recognition for that. I think, did Igor get, did he win a Grammy for that as well?
Igor won Best Rap Album, but there was a controversy around it because obviously it wasn't a rap album.
Yeah.
But he got pigeonholed in the rap album for reasons that we kind of already know that don't need to be expressed.
Yeah.
And he kind of called out the Grammys in that respect. And then he dropped a Rappity Rap album and won Best Rap Album.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I'm happy with it, man. Big up Tyler.
100%.
I was surprised at the Baby Kim thing, though.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was surprised. Who else was nominated for that?
I don't actually know.
Okay.
I think was J. Cole Pride is the Devil?
Pride
that
is
up
the
for
Devil.
it?
Pride is the Devil was nominated.
I think Kanye West might have been up as well.
I think I was always going to go to Family Ties though.
I think so
by
as well.
far and clear the song of the year to me.
Okay.
By far,
I in my opinion, it was as well.
yeah.
So that makes sense.
What do you think?
Yeah, I was happy. I mean, I would have been happy with either Cole. To be fair, I would have been happy with Nas, Cole, or Tyler. You know, so I'm happy that Tyler won.
The other two nominations were a joke, but we'll get into that.
No, Donda deserved it.
I don't think it did.
And CLB, just because it broke so many records and streams so high, that's all the Grammys cares about. So it makes sense.
No, I get it, but there's no way CLB was a top 5 rap album.
No, it wasn't.
Do you know what I mean?
Depends on
Like,
who
even
you
when they
ask.
get the award wins, right, the nomination of whack. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Depends on who you ask.
CLB was not a top 5 album. Depending, I don't care. And if you tell me wrong, then
Bro, you know how I feel about it.
yeah. Can you imagine what? Yeah,
Yeah,
CLB.
no, I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was-
No,
it was-
and I really enjoyed a lot of songs off there.
Yeah,
but, nah.
but a top 5 album, bro. Like there's 4 from the UK that were better, but we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, man, but if we're talking mainstream, and that's all it really rewards, the Grammys, what mainstream album was bigger than CLB?
That dropped last year.
Yeah.
Dave's.
Oh, that's a lovely segue. Lovely segue. Oh, you learning.
Hey, I'm trying.
No, you're right. You're right, to be fair. But again, it goes down to, you know, British rap, obviously, it's on the rise. It's not necessarily being, I mean, obviously, in this country, we've got the Brit Awards and the Mobos, and even the Brit Awards this year, they, you know, created the rap category. So, and Dave's album won that. So I guess that in that respect, they're kind of working on that and doing the work in that regard. I guess it takes an extra Herculean effort to kind of be recognized on the other side of the pond, which, you know, is a shame, obviously, because we've been dropping some great albums. If you, even from like people like Stormzy, Dave, Jay Huss, Little Sims, Ghetts, Kano, like those are just a couple of names that, you know, since about 2015 onwards have just been dropping quality work that is worthy of any nomination, whether it's Grammys or whatever. But, you know, it doesn't seem as if the Grammys or, you know, those kind of institutions on the other side of the pond are really acknowledging us in that way. Why do we think that is?
I mean, I'd be really surprised. Like, we keep it a buck, man. Like, our scene is still somewhat very national. It's not international. And hip hop in itself is very elitist, especially like, and pop culture, especially like over in America. So it's not really a surprise that our scene and the albums coming from our scene are not going to be recognized for a Grammy. I don't expect them to until our artists get to a point where internationally they start really like making waves and that, then they won't be. I think Skepta's probably like the one that probably could have done it around Konnichiwa times, because I felt like he was dabbling in America as well. But apart from that, regardless of how good our albums are, I don't expect them to make the waves, unfortunately. I think that's just the way popular culture is set up at the moment, man. It's driven by the States. Now, unless we have an artist that breaks there, then it won't happen, man.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I think the Grammys is just a microcosm of like the US music scene generally. As much as you say the Grammys are elitist, I also think generally America's very elitist as well. Look how long it took for them to acknowledge grime.
Yeah.
Look how long it took for them to acknowledge someone like, you know, a Giggs or people like that.
Yeah.
So it takes them a lot longer because they feel like, you know, they can't be better than us over there. They can't be any different to us. They're like our sons, basically. So that mentality is always going to carry through. I don't know what it's going to take for these guys to become those kind of international superstars. Well, it's at least on the American side, because you could go to like Africa and you can go to all these other continents and they're probably very international and they're probably very, very big. But I guess to your point, like maybe the main blocker would be that kind of elitism and thinking that, you know, they can't be any better than us at what we gave to them, sort of thing. What do you think, Mo?
I can't see it happening anytime in the near future. Like, talking within the next 10, 15 years. And I think there's a number of reasons. But if we forget the Grammys for a sec, how long would we say we've been making UK rap music? The last, what? Really properly the last, what, 20, 25 years?
About 30 years.
About 30?
Yeah.
And we've just now got a Brit Awards section for like the last, what, 4 or 5 that we've just been starting getting nominated for Best Album. We wasn't getting nominated for Best Album at the Brit Awards till about recently. So if you think about art here, we're not even getting nominated. The Grammys is going to take double. Do you know what I mean? Because we're still, it's like you said, we're still young here. We're still trying to get established here to start winning the awards here. If we weren't nominated for the Brit Awards or whatever.
I didn't even know that.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like we've just recently started winning the album of the year, Dave winning it, or it doesn't feel like, I feel like Brit Awards have snubbed us for a
Well, yeah, it's come on.
We weren't, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off at all. We weren't performing there until recently.
So what? When I'm So Solid in that we're performing, what?
That was the Mobiles. Did they perform on the Brit Awards?
I'd have to check that.
Yeah, like, but even if they were, So Solid didn't win the album. Home Sweet Home didn't win anything at the Brit Awards. Like, do you know what I mean? It's only now that we're making noise that we're charting. It's only now we started charting as well.
I think that's mad because Dizzy won the Mercury.
But I don't think did he win the Brit
But
Award?
the Brit wasn't recognizing.
Exactly. So think about it
That's
that way.
mad.
If we're just now getting recognition from their ends we're from. Why would Grammys look at us? Because Grammys are most probably looking at it as the smaller ones ain't even taking you lot seriously. So why? Which they should be, obviously, but we know what the reason is for that. But if they're most probably looking at it, maybe if the Brit Awards ain't even nominating you guys, you can't sniff this award.
And even to that, and I want to come back to your point, but even if you look at the Grammys generally, how many other international rappers are nominated for Grammys?
Well, here's the thing. Every other category, you have like the best African music album, you have the best like Latin music album, you have all these kind of things, and you know, artists around the globe are kind of nominated. So maybe to that point, maybe there does need to be like international rap, in the same way that like the Mobile Awards and the Brit Awards, you know, honor the best international act.
BT even done it.
BET even do it. The Grammys don't necessarily do that, but they have their sections where they award certain aspects of the world, whether it's Asian or Latin or African or whatever. But it's not the same for kind of like rap. I suppose in that respect, there's a bit more work to do. With the UK, I think with like the likes of Dizzy winning the Mercury and, you know, Home Sweet Home being the classic that it is, at the time, because the wider British music industry didn't really understand what was going on, they were very much anomalies. They weren't necessarily the status quo. Since about 2015, UK rap has been the status quo. That has been the force driving, you know, everything UK-wise, you know, even outside of like whatever the Wanted are doing or whatever. So it's like, it was undeniable. You couldn't not acknowledge them. And that's why they had to.
But that's my point. It's only the last 5 years, the last 6-7 years. There was no way the Grammys will look at us. So I think it's going to still take, I think it's only going to be in the next 10, 15 years. Unless you get one artist that really does break through.
How long has the UK rap / grime scene been pop culture in the UK?
I'll say the last 5, 6, if you really want me to be honest with you.
Since That's Not Me, so that's 2014.
Yeah, 2014, 15.
Yeah, that's still quite.
That's when all that's when the Daves came out, all of them really, the J Husses. That's when I think that's the first time I say we started charting. I say we started charting consistently from like 16, 17 onwards, and I mean like top 5, top 10s.
Yeah,
I think it was always consistent. You'll get some that will chart here and there. You'll get a Chipmunk that might get a top 3 album or whoever. But now consistently, when Dave drops, you know that's guy number 1 or potentially when Skepta, when Stormzy, whoever.
So rather than blaming the Grammys, do we have to blame the infrastructures here?
That's what I'm getting to. That's what I meant when I say they did it. The UK didn't even take us seriously.
And when I say that, I mean even with regards to their connections with America, because
they didn't push us.
Yeah, that. And if like there was like a longer bridge between here and America, then maybe it brings more attention here, more light here, which means that more attention is being shown to some of the great albums that we're dropping.
Potentially. But I also think, to your original point, the US, regardless of that, is going to be very elitist. They're not going to think that a UK artist is going to do anything better than what a US artist could do, especially on the rap side. So I think that has a lot to play. I think as far as like the UK acknowledging like the rap scene and the grime scene generally, yeah, it was a long time coming and it's still a lot of work to be done, but they've shown that they can do it and will do it. And a lot of it is to do with like who is actually in the academies and in the voting academies who are actually, you know, making the nominees like possible. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing that in the US as well. Like you know, you have rappers and you have like entertainers part of the academy and stuff, and they're determining the nominees and stuff. So in that respect, it's kind of working. I suppose it takes an extra effort for them to look outside of their kind of like US bubble to what's going on outside of it, UK or wherever, to really see change, I imagine.
Which I don't think we're going to.
It's quite interesting as well because like we've influenced America as well, even as far as like the drill shit. Even though I don't fuck with it, you can't escape our influence over there. So it's even surprising that our scene doesn't have more eyes than it does, because clearly we're influencing what's going on over there as well.
Yeah, but they don't.
I think it's the beginning though. I think this US drill thing, this US UK drill, it's just the beginning. Like obviously you had, you know, Giggs is popular in the US. Skepta was popular in the US for a little bit. I don't know if he still is. I imagine Dave, Stormzy, all those people.
They knew a few of them.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine. Yeah, I imagine there are pockets of fan base for all these artists there, but there isn't like a general like national like, oh yeah, I fuck with this guy. So I think we're at the beginning stages of that now with this US drill thing. It might not necessarily be the result of the fact that we've been doing so well and it's only now that people are starting to mess with us. They've only just started looking at what we're doing because they're actually borrowing from what we're doing, sort of thing. And that's where they have to kind of look and think, okay, yeah, UK's on some stuff, rather than, you know, they probably still think grime is hip hop.
Yeah, true.
So that in itself is a mentality that means that, you know, it's going to be hard for us to be acknowledged for stuff that we've kind of originated.
It's quite interesting because like I feel like even if we look at other genres of music, it hasn't had the same difficulty with penetrating popular culture over there. Because even if you look at someone like Amy Winehouse, bruv, what she did like vibrated like everywhere.
Yeah, but it's
and,
different. It's different.
And America caught onto that very quickly.
But it's different.
And we've been doing that, even like Sade and that. Do you know what I mean? We've been doing that shit. So why is it that our rap grime scene is taking longer to penetrate over there? Because you could argue it's similar. We're rapping in a different accent. Amy Winehouse is singing in a different accent.
But I think
you could argue it's similar sort of thing.
But I think American rap fans in general are different compared to your
Are they
everyday
different
rap fan.
to
to your everyday fan?
soul fans?
I don't know. I don't listen to soul, but I'm saying
You need to.
okay. That's another
Need some
conversation.
soul in your life.
We'll talk about it on another pod.
Open up them chakras.
I'm like Naruto fan. The real fans will get that. But my point being, in terms of the way rap fans are, especially in America, they're very arrogant. So little stuff like that accent will put them off listening to us. Whereas if you're listening to
I think
Amy
it's
Winehouse,
getting better though, man.
It's
'Cause
now,
I've heard
no,
Ebro talk about
only
Dave.
now though. Only now that
Yeah, there's
we've
a
only
different
now
type
started
of
getting to Hot 97.
There's a different type of pride with with US rap fans
Yeah.
as opposed to like soul
They're arrogant.
fans or R&B fans. I think with soul and R&B fans, they just like what they like, and if they hear something that they gravitate towards, whether you're like Peruvian or British or whatever, that's what it is. When it comes to you to rap, again, and you could talk about
That's
this.
sad though, bro.
But you could talk-
even if you look at rock, bro, like Coldplay, fucking how many Grammys they got, or even nominations, bro.
Yeah, but
why is it
They're worldwide. Yeah,
Why is it our genre where we put those barriers in place?
We don't.
inherently,
Just
it's a competition.
It's
isn't
a
it?
bigger.
When I say we, I mean like
I think it's a
we as
big
people.
conversation though. I don't think it's as easy as. I think also what gets pushed is different.
Okay.
The money that gets pumped behind a Coldplay and all of them was different to what will get pumped behind a Wiley and a Skepta back in the day.
Okay.
You're hearing Coldplay play out there. You're hearing Amy Winehouse play.
But inherent,
These men don't have the money behind them. They've barely got the money to keep up with UK.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Their sole focus wasn't to go over there. They're just trying to conquer UK. So I think that's.
But
I think the
inherent-
pushing also is different.
But I
It's
also
not
feel,
YouTube right then.
yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
But inherently, I also feel like the sense of competition in rap is like in a way that is felt no other genre. Like Marvin Gaye wasn't competing with his contemporaries at the time, whereas Nas and Jay.
Oh no, he was.
Yeah, but not
He
in the same
absolutely
way.
was. Teddy Pendergrass, when he was making his album, was like, "Yo, trying to make better shit than Marvin."
Not in the same
When
way.
Marvin first won his Grammy, he was looking at Rick James and them man like, "Yeah, now what?"
Not in the same way though.
Ah, yeah, not in the same.
That's all I was trying to say. Not in the same way.
I'm just as sus as you guys.
They know about Marvin Gaye.
They
but
did
yeah.
not know Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass were watching each other like.
No, to be fair, I didn't know that. Only a historian.
Do you
at
know
the
what I
time.
mean?
Only a,
What
yeah.
are we doing here,
Yeah,
fam?
yeah.
Man, no Teddy Pendergrass and
Listen, man. All those facts you can hear on Peter's as yet upcoming spin-off podcast.
Hey, yeah, man, it's coming. It's
Yeah,
coming.
yeah, yeah.
Look at the knowledge he just dropped. Who else did Marvin Gaye have beef with?
Hey, man, quite a few, man.
His dad. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, me, man. No, I got to edit that out, man.
No, you don't.
That was awful.
I genuinely, I thought that was, hey man,
it's true.
hey,
Alright,
hey,
man,
It's true.
hey, you pulled up on that.
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah.
you pulled up on 40 on that one. I give you that, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Carmelo Anthony in this.
Anyway, Hall of Fame. Listen,
Facts only.
the sense of competition in rap is so much greater. And again, US, more time, are not going to admit that someone else from another country is doing better than what they're doing.
1000%.
So that is always going to fit into it. I don't know where this sense of competition comes from rap. I guess it's just from like the way it's just in its DNA, really.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, can I just say
Go
something?
through.
Look how long it took for the South to conquer rap in America. And that was nothing but New York's arrogance of, no, we can't listen to South artists. Imagine how they feel about someone from a whole nother country. Do you know what I mean? That's it's a microcosm of that. Just kind of, they taught that. So I think that's what it is with us. They are only now thinking, all right, let's just give it a chance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, probably.
We've been making better music for like the last decade, but that's another
We can
conversation
talk
for
about
another
it.
day.
We could argue.
Actually, I don't know recently, but like I think there was,
Well,
I think there was a solid 8-year run. Was making better.
I don't know how many artists last year dropped better albums than Little Sims.
And Dave
And Ghetts.
Little Sims. And Ghetts.
and Ghetts. I generally, yeah, for the last 7-8 years, we've consistently been better than America. It's a new artist.
All
Take
right.
away the Coles, the Drakes, the whoever's come from 2012 onwards. They're not talking to us.
Give me some of your Grammy-worthy British albums.
The last how many years?
J Hus, Common Sense.
Common Sense.
Little Sims, Grey Area.
Big
Little
Conspiracy.
Sims, Simi.
Big conspiracy for me.
Hoodies, All Summer Kano.
Depending on how far back you want to go to Home Sweet Home.
I think Ghetts deserved
Ghetts
would've-
won.
nomination. I would have given him that.
You got any?
Konnichiwa.
Psychodrama Dave, just purely because of how young he is and what he's talking
And
about.
if we're talking right now, I'll say Koji Radical's album so far to me, 2020 is the best.
Grammy worthy, yeah.
So far, there's not been a better album UK or England for me.
Fair enough. No, I agree with you guys. I would have said conflict of interest gets Simbi, Little Sims,
Sense.
Dave Psychodrama, J Hus, Common Sense,
And Big
Kano, Hoodies All Summer, and Big Conspiracy. There's been a lot. I mean, just for what it did, Gang Signs and Prayer, Stormzy, you can say that as well. There's loads, man.
Yeah.
There's actually loads, especially over the last like half decade anyway. I'd probably say from like 2017 onwards, you've got like a Grammy-worthy album, British album every year.
Yeah,
if one or two at least.
These lot gave it in 2019. Sorry, segue. These lot gave in 2019 to Cardi B Invasion of Privacy.
We know what
Who
that
else was
though.
nominated?
Just I'll say one album.
We know what that was
That's
though.
a Victory Laps.
We know what
Victory
that was
Lap.
though.
Oh yeah.
And then Pusha T Daytona as well. And Astro World.
Yeah, but we know that. We know what the Grammys reward. Like
Yeah,
Invasion of Privacy broke every record. Was like, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B was a superstar.
They gave it-
always gonna get that Grammy.
They gave it to Marshall Mathers.
Bro, Meg
in
Thee Stallion
2015.
didn't Meg Thee Stallion win like Best New Artist last year?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Macklemore won it over Kendrick Lamar.
We know that.
Drake Take Care won a Grammy.
Travesty.
I didn't even know that, did you?
No. Who else was nominated though?
Food and Liquor to Nas, Life is Good, Rick Ross, God Forgives I Don't. The Roots, Undone.
Won a great year, to be fair.
I would give it
Yeah,
to
I think Take Care deserves it.
I'll give
Yeah,
it
it won a great-
I'll give it to God Forgives I Don't.
God Forgives I Don't was good though.
I'll give it to God
I
Forgives
would,
I
I
Don't.
would give it straight.
Dark Twisted Fantasies fine. Recovery won it in 2011.
We know what that is.
Yeah.
We know what that is, bro.
Yeah, we know what
it's in plain sight.
Relapse won it in 2010. Yeah, the Grammys are racist. I'll say for all of us, man.
I wouldn't say all that.
I'll say it for all of us.
I wouldn't say all
Okay,
that.
They've got a history of looking tricky. They look shady.
They look at what an album does rather than like commercially, rather than what
Yeah, I
it's
think it's
culture.
just as simple as
That's
that.
literally it.
I hear you, but I also think when you give it to a Macklemore and an Eminem and an Eminem and a Macklemore, I don't think it's as obvious as what sold because Macklemore didn't sell that much compared to what got nominated.
Yes, he did, bro.
Kendrick sold more than him.
No, he didn't.
That year, the album, I'll check right now. I guarantee Kendrick sold
Bro.
first week album. I guarantee first week.
Macklemore's album was like the biggest album that year, bro.
Let me check.
Thrift Shop can't hold us.
I'll be honest with you, bro.
Bangers, by the way.
Let's see what he done first week. Commercial.
First week, you sound like Az.
So first week he done.
You sound like harsh.
Alright,
You sound like harsh
Alright,
reality. No,
As of February,
Shout out to Az.
As of February, he sold 5 million copies.
say that again.
He sold 1.5 million copies as of February.
Kendrick,
Yeah, no, your boy Macklemore.
my boy.
Kendrick. Let's check right here. Give me 2 seconds.
This is first week.
Nah, just as of February.
Okay.
Kendrick sold first week alone done 242.
242,000.
Yeah, in his first week alone.
So 1.5 million.
No. I'll tell you what. No, Macklemore in his first week done 100,000.
I thought you said 1.5.
That was as of February 2016. So
Oh.
that was like 2 years later.
Wait. So this was first week Kendrick versus first week Macklemore.
No,
Or
first week
overall?
Macklemore was 78,000. First week Kendrick was 242.
Okay. So what about overall?
I don't know, man. That's where it just bugs out. Okay, it says as of 2016, 1.49 million. But my point being is Kendrick definitely outsold him that year, and they gave it to Macklemore. That's got nothing to do with buzz. It's all one thing.
I'm not gonna blame it solely on that though.
I think
I'm not putting it solely on that though.
I hear you, but I think
Because he had the big singles as well. He had Thrift Shop. He had Can't Hold Us. He had Same Love. He was never going to lose a Grammy talking about Same Love what he was talking about in that song. Like gay love.
if a black person makes Same Love, is he winning a Grammy over Kendrick, or do you look at just
I
two
don't
black
know.
people nominated?
I hear what you're saying. I don't know.
Do you get what I mean? Though I think if a black person makes that song, they'll look at it as, these are just two black people we can pick from. When a Macklemore does it, it's different for them.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't know, Mo.
I'm not
Maybe
saying
I'm
this.
trying to fish stuff. And
Yeah, I think you're
stuff
slightly
in, I
reaching,
don't know.
You're reaching a bit.
Hey man,
I mean, all these establishments don't really.
yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But I don't think in this case we can say that.
Okay, I hear
It's
you.
racist.
When Eminem wins it every album he drops, I don't think that's anything else but what's in your face.
I think that's more so based on popularity and numbers, isn't it? I don't think that's.
And where did he get that from?
What do you mean, what did he get?
I just wanted to get to I don't know, but it felt like he felt it.
We move. We're going to move on now to the second topic, and we're going to be talking about a much loved UK collective. UK heads know. We're going to be talking about the group called The Movement. The Movement, which consisted of Ghetts, Wretch 2, Devlin, Scorcher, and Mercston. one of the more interesting groups / collectives in UK history, in that, you know, they were a brotherhood, they were a community of rappers, elite MCs that, you know, collabed with each other a lot, dropped songs together, but never dropped a project, right?
They did a mixtape,
done
Tempo
a mixtape,
Specialists, but not an official album.
project.
Not an official album. All right, cool. So we've only got the one mixtape
Tempo, so.
to their name, right? Now, obviously, we've been thinking, because they're such a celebrated collective in UK grime and UK rap generally, why it never really materialized into a full-scale group outside of the one project. I know Mo's going to have fun with this because obviously it's his goal and a couple other...
I don't want you
couple
man
other
to go
men.
first.
I mean, I ain't got much to say, to be fair.
Oh, you're a hater, but that's fine.
I mean,
It
no.
was roll deep somewhere went away. But
Do you believe that?
you know,
You know what I mean? So you just say shit for the sake of it. But it's cool. But yeah, I guess what we want to do now is just talk about the movement, man, and just know how good they were and why it never materialized into, you know, a group that's lasting to this very day.
Can I ask a question?
yeah. Sorry,
Were they ever really a group?
I looked at it as a collective growing up. Like
Okay,
I
wait,
looked-
Kim Pop. Okay, with that being said, break down the difference between a group and a collective.
I look at a group outside. Do you want to go?
I'd say a group is a collection of rappers that came into the game together as a group, as a certified group, in the same way that Tribe and De La came out as a group, rather than a collective being like a collection of MCs who were solo MCs that then came together and more often than not loosely collaborated and, you know, kind of kept it that way. It was very loose.
That's the movement.
Yeah.
That's the movement, man. I think based on that, they were never really a group in it. So I think it was, maybe it was just because of how sick they all were lyrically and individually that we wanted more from them. But they were never really a group.
Yeah, I never-
So I don't really understand why we
Classic.
expected them to stay together and make albums together.
Because of how good they were individually. And I think it's more just a want than expectation.
Yeah, I think it's the excitement of like 5 top tier MCs coming together and, you know, collabing on each other's songs and stuff and wanting more. You know what I'm saying? I think the best example of a collective that became a group that then fell apart was Slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse was a group, they became a group, and then obviously they were collaborating together before, became a group, and they did albums and stuff. It's now gone tits up, but, you know, we won't talk about that one. And, you know, it is what it is. Whereas with the with the movement, I agree. They were never a group because I suppose it was never, well, I don't know actually, but it doesn't seem as if it was ever like really set in stone that they were going to be like this group of MCs that come together as a super group and just, you know, take the game over really. Yeah. It just seemed more so of like these loose collaborations, you know, sets on Fuck Radio, which was like a famous radio station in North London, right?
Yep.
Cool. Memorable, Ghetts, you know, Chip, Movement, freestyles on that station. And then obviously the tape as well. When did the tape come out?
I think 2006.
Yeah, around that time.
2006.
Oh, wow.
2006.
A while back.
Yeah, they were early. I remember, do you know what's crazy? So I remember hearing I remember hearing Scorcher and Wretch's name a lot. I didn't hear about Ghetts. The first time I heard about Ghetts was in the movement. So
See, I heard about Ghetts first.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I didn't know about the
I knew about Ghetts first.
I knew about Wretch, I knew about Scorcher, but I never knew Ghetts. And then I saw Ghetts on one of the first times I actually saw Wretch. One of the first times before that I really put face to name was. Do you remember the freestyle you had with Wiley and them man outside? Mm-hmm. That was one of the first times.
Risky Roads.
Yeah, I was like,
Classic.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah,
and you just hear him barring out. But if we speak about it, what they potentially could have been, I think it could have been one of the greatest we've ever had. One of the greatest collective groups, whichever way you want to put it, we've ever had. Is when you put 4.5 good, amazing rappers together.
4.5.
Hey man, I don't want to disrespect someone, but when you put 4.5 amazing rappers together,
Devlin was ill. What are you talking about?
who
Devlin was ill, bro.
if you rank the rappers, who would you say is last?
Devlin.
Nah.
Who would you say is last?
I'm not saying Devlin, man.
would you say- who would you say
yeah,
is
but that don't mean that Devlin wasn't ill.
would you
I
say
think
is
it
last?
speaks to more the caliber of people that was around.
Mercston.
I'll say
What?
Mercston's last.
Nah.
This one comes
Nah, we ain't there that, man.
Mercston's-
Yeah, me, please, bro.
Respectfully, Mercston is last. I'm sorry.
Bro, do you know Mercston, like, he influenced a lot with that Skippy flow, you know? And he probably does it the best if we want to keep it a buck.
I think Devlin's a better MC than Mercston.
I think Devlin's an amazing MC.
I don't know.
An amazing MC.
Yeah.
He's a great MC for sure.
I never got it with Devlin.
Nah, the Devlin's nice.
I never got it with Devlin.
Devlin's nice, bro.
I never got it with Devlin.
Yeah,
ever
but
hear-
that's because he's white.
Can you not stop putting that in the air, bro?
Let's keep it.
You
back,
literally
though.
said 4.5 MCs, bro.
Yo, I apologies. I just never got it.
If
with
Devlin was black, you'd be saying other shit.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, he's not. So 4.5.
Bro, have you heard his son for why the extra
I'll
extra?
be honest with you.
No,
bro.
Devlin's nice,
I'll be honest,
man.
I never listened to Devlin. I'll be
Fair enough.
completely honest with you. I've never tried with Devlin. So I think.
Now listen, his recent history's been sullied by his like views on Brexit and shit.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
He's a rapper's rapper.
yes, man.
Alright,
Oh,
fair enough.
Mercston was ill though.
But
he's still ill.
100%, but I don't think he was better than
Didn't he drop his
Devlin.
top tier album? Like, what was it last year or the year before?
no one knows.
I don't think he was better than Devlin.
Yo,
though.
no one knows.
Nah, Mercston's
No
nice,
one
bro.
knows. No one knows he dropped that album recently.
What, Mercston?
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Alright,
I still need to listen to it.
It's fire.
Is it fire?
Yeah, man.
Alright,
It's
cool.
fire.
But yeah, back to my point. I think it could have been one of the greatest groups of all time. When it's weird because when they split up, it was already kind of been done. Does that make sense? I don't think they needed to announce anything
No, they didn't. Yeah.
because people already heard whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it could have been one of the goats, man. Honestly, when you've got, I thought Scorcher to me, Wretch was always a lyricist, but Scorcher's name was buzzing differently,
Yeah.
like differently.
As a producer as well.
Yeah, Scorcher was the name that you kept. I generally, out of all of them, more so than Ghetts, more so than more so than Wretch, his name was always the one that you would hear.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, innit?
What, in the streets?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're from Tottenham.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then Scorcher was the one. Scorcher was the one. Scorcher was the one that if you're walking past, you would hear people spitting.
Yeah.
Like Scorcher was the one that was meant to be out of here. And then obviously got locked up or whatever. But yeah, I think he felt it the most. I think the group breaking up if I'd say who it affected individually the most and where they could have gone, I would say Scorcher.
No, I don't
But
think.
it's also a personal life as well. But
I don't think so. I don't think the group.
you think if they stayed together, I think Scorcher would have been out of here. Do you get what I mean?
Nah, man,
Because
I
they've
feel-
all individually still had great success, and I think Scorcher's the only one that's kind of.
Yeah, but Scorcher didn't rely. It wasn't a case of the reason why his career didn't go the way it went was because the group derailed. I don't
Yeah,
think it was that. Scorcher was already dealing with his own legal problems, and the street shit, and that's what derailed him. If the group stayed together, he was still going to get into his. I think you can't. You weren't
No,
going to
but
escape
what I'm saying,
the street stuff.
if he stayed together and say when he went prison or whatever and come back out,
Yeah.
if they were still together and
Yeah.
Gets his name is as hot as it is and Wretch is as hot as it is, I'm saying if you.
But they
now-
were though.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
not
that's-
as a group, but individually.
Yeah, but that's my point. And say they were still a group, you've now got Scorcher coming back to that. Do you know what I mean? Rather than him trying to build it all back up again. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
I said if they were all together, when Scorcher comes out, he can latch on to Ghetts and Wretch. Not latch on, but cool, we're now going to push Scorcher.
Yeah.
But when he come back out, I've got to build all of this again.
So basically, the movement would have been a platform for Scorcher.
Exactly.
To be big.
Exactly. And I think obviously when they split up, he come back out, he has to build it all again. That's why I say it affects him the most.
But you know why I counted that? Because individually they were still hot. So whenever Scorch was going in and out of prison or whatever, yeah, he still was collaborating with these men. So he still could have latched onto the hotness. I don't think it like them being together as an actual group. I don't think that's like a definitive thing in Scorcher.
Not,
you know what I mean? Real rebuilding what he was
Because he
saying.
had other stuff going on.
Yeah, do you know
no,
what I
I
mean? just
understand
don't-
why he didn't do it. Obviously, we all do. I'm just saying, I think if he did,
No, but what I'm saying is that like he was still collabing with them, man, even when he came back out.
Right, that's fair.
Do you know what I mean? And them man was still as hot as they were. They weren't a group. They were still just doing loose collabs, and they were still hot. So whether they were together or not, Scorcher was always whatever happened with Scorcher was destined. It was going to be what it was going to be. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know how far the movement would have gone, man. I think to me, I look at them as like the first like UK supergroup. Do you know what I mean? We see all these like groups in America that all these like great groups and stuff that have been like, manufactured and they didn't necessarily come into the industry as a group, but they were put together and stuff. That's how I see the movement. So I don't think it ever would have lasted that long anyway, man. Because I feel like
that's what super
them,
are, innit?
yeah, them individually were just gonna go on their own great paths as it was, man. So it was never something that was gonna last for a long time. But had they had a couple of albums, who knows what would have happened, man? I think it would have been really, really good for him. I think you have to also remember Mercston went to prison too.
Yeah.
So what would that have done to the group?
yeah.
They wouldn't have really been together because Scorcher was having these legal problems. So was Mercston.
Yeah.
So you really only would have had Devlin, Wretch, and Ghetts holding down a fort.
No,
so you don't really have a group.
Yeah. That's
I hear
fact,
that.
that's
Do you know what I mean? So that's why I count.
No, I understand.
Do you know what I mean? I include that in like my thought with regards to whether they would have really been a group anyway, and whether they really would have stuck around.
So it's essentially the fact that they weren't able to really thrive as a group was because of things that were outside of music.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all it was. Majority of it, anyway.
Yeah,
Majority of it was all
pretty
outside.
much.
It was all the issues were outside music.
When was the last time the 5 members collabed together on a track?
All 5.
All 5.
bruv.
Oh,
It's been a very long time.
Long time.
I think the last time they were
07
all
or
together was the free.
07 or 08.
no, 7.
Was the free? When did they do the freestyle session at Charlie Sloth? It was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That was like, I think that was the last time they were
I thought you meant
all
made
together.
Sorry, made a track together. You mean just all
I
together?
just meant generally, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was around them
Made a
times.
track. Sorry.
So like 2015, 2014 times.
Yeah, around them times.
That's a long time, man.
Yeah.
Right, if they stayed together, it would have been. It's the perfect word to use was supergroup. They were generally that when I was growing up. That was it. Like we didn't. I don't think because BBK was always there, but they always had the shorties or whoever in the group that we know what they are. When you've got a rapper, when all of these men are rapping, yeah, it was different. It was different.
I think it would have pushed a lot of people's pens. Though.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It was
I think it
different
would've
because
pushed
you
a lot
got
of
people
people's
that
pens
can rap.
And I slightly think we would have got more groups as well. I think more groups would have come out and tried to do what they were doing and maybe rival them in a sense. And I think it just would have pushed a lot of people to be better.
Do you think, because obviously grime went a certain way towards the end of the noughties and stuff, and the movement were probably at their prime as a group or collective around like 07, 08, those times. Do you think, to that point, do you think they would have really survived in that climate? Because obviously it was going Poppy, Tiny, Tinchy and all that. Would they have survived with the real bars and stuff?
I was thinking about it as well because who knows what would they have done though? Would they have done gram? Would they have done rap? Because they started off gram and then they started deviating more into rap.
And they
so
could
what would they have done?
They could do both.
Yeah,
would
but
very
I prefer them on gram.
But they could rap as well. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
They would seamlessly, I think, would have flown through it. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, Wretch did it, didn't he?
Yeah, you're damn right. He did.
Tractor.
But they probably...
Did you like that song?
I did.
I think they probably would have just maybe attempted to follow what the industry was doing. And
I think they
try
would have
and
made
make
a
that-
couple
that-
pop songs, by the way.
Yeah, because I think a lot of them did it individually.
That would have diluted them then, right? Imagine 5 barrers all doing the same pop tune.
Did the Slaughterhouse do it with my life?
Yeah, but then
Did
you
the
could...
Slaughterhouse do it with my life?
Yeah.
And what, did you like it?
Yuck.
Exactly.
Yo, that song
Exactly.
was yuck.
Yeah,
Precisely.
but then you could also argue that they would have been at a point where their pull would have been so strong that the industry may not have attempted to fall down the road of being poppy. They could have upheld a certain level of integrity and the music that they produced could have been enough to where other artists felt compelled to stick with it.
Maybe. But I also think of like the people who were dropping pop at the time, like Wiley and people like that, wearing my Rolex. As soon as wearing my Rolex, and Dizzy as well, wearing my Rolex and Dance With Me, as soon as they drop, it's pretty much over. Because those are the 2 biggest names.
Yeah, but that happened because no one else was there to
To
continue to challenge them artistically. They thought, you know what? No one's really doing nothing else.
I think I was gonna
no
have
one's
to-
made. No one's
No.
making. No one's making no
P?
P. No one's
P?
making
To be
no
fair, they were.
music.
Pete, I think
They were
regardless
challenging Wiley though.
Pete, I think regardless that was going to happen though. I think that route was always going to get taken no matter who's there. I think the pop route was...
I
think
so too.
I think that was...
No, man.
You know
I
why?
think so too.
Because regardless, we
Kano
weren't
went
making
pop.
money then. They were always going to go...
Really?
This is the girl.
This is the girl's pop.
Yeah, but that's in line with Brown Eyes, though. I don't think that's.
Yo,
ain't
this
no
is the
attempt
girl.
to-
Yo, this is the girl.
Craig
No,
David.
I said, this is the
Craig-
girl.
Craig
that I
David.
want.
Ain't
That's
doing that, no.
Craig
pop.
David.
So what was Brown Eyes? Was Brown Eyes pop?
No.
Brown Eyes wasn't pop because it wasn't the same tempo.
Yo, this is the
I
girl
think it was
want.
in line with
Yo,
Kane's
this is the girl.
personality.
This guy even started screaming, this is the girl I want. No, that's pop.
So what? It was a
Pop.
coincidence that it
Pop.
was going poppy at the time, and that's when he was dropping it.
They all done it.
No. Hold on.
they all done it.
Kano, when he dropped "This Is the Girl," I don't think that was like him following what the music industry or the direction that
He felt
all
like
the
he felt
other.
in his heart.
I think that's what he was just doing because it's in line with him doing Brown Eyes.
Bro, no.
So it's a coincidence.
No,
Yeah.
this is the girl. That was not. This is the girl I want. Was not a coincidence.
What do you
that was a
mean?
made radio song. That was a made pop song.
It's a radio song.
Yeah, but that's
sure.
not Kane trying to be pop.
I think this is the girl.
I don't think that's him trying to be pop. I think that,
When
Brown
you make
Eyes
a
and This Is the Girl are
radio
different,
song,
I think.
why are they different?
Because for me, the tempo of This Is the Girl is a lot more like the kind of electro kind of pop stuff you would hear around the time, especially with the Craig David feature. Brown Eyes still had a little bit of edge to it, I feel like. It wasn't necessarily as poppy, I don't think.
This is
as
the girl I want.
This is the girl. That beat is horrible.
So wait, when
that's
you,
a
when,
bona
okay, but when
fide
I'm saying
radio song to me.
when
That was a
Yeah.
attempted radio.
okay, but when I'm talking about being poppy, I'm also referring to the content as well as the sound. It sounds like you're referring to the sound.
I'm talking about
I'm just talking the
I'm talking about
sound.
Just sound.
I'm just talking
Just
the sound.
Just sound.
I don't think that was Kane trying to be poppy. I think it's in the same vein as
think it was.
Brown Eyes.
I think it was. It doesn't have to be wearing. It doesn't have to be Rolex sweep for it to be.
Of course it does.
No, because it's also a sound.
So what? Making songs. So what? Making songs for the girls, is that poppy?
Depending on the
Can
song.
be.
Depending on the song. It
can be.
poppy.
I
Depending
don't
on the song.
know.
And if you compare This Is the Girl to Rolex Sweep, not that different.
Is Own It poppy?
Nah,
It's
come on,
yo.
man.
It's not that different, bro.
talking about,
It's not
bro?
that different, bro. It's not that different. Listen to them again. It's not that different.
Own It poppy. Is Own It and pop.
Own it.
Yeah.
What tune's that?
Stormzy.
How's it go?
It's Afrobeat pop. Afro pop.
It's pop though, innit?
It's Afro pop.
Oh no, man.
Own It with Ed Sheeran and Burna
You ain't
Boy.
putting This Is the Girl in the same sentence as Rolex Sweet.
We can though.
I'm not though. That's my point. I'm saying it's two different pops though. It doesn't have to be the same.
I think we can though.
But a pop is a pop song.
Okay, cool.
This is the girl.
Nonetheless, though, I still think like had the movement done their thing, who knows how the scene would have looked.
Yeah,
Definitely would have been stronger.
yeah, man. You
Yeah,
got-
it
And I think we would have got some great like posse cuts.
if they done an album together,
100%. And as they were getting older, they were only getting better as well as
it would've been
artists, as MCs. It just would have been dope, man. But on the flip side, it could have been really bad. They could have made some really bad music. When Ghetts was attempting to go pop with Skadoosh and
Yuck.
What's the other tune he had? He had another tune.
Douche.
Yeah, I can't remember. He had another pop tune in it, but
top 3 selected.
it could have been something that the whole collective would have done together, and it just would have made some.
That would have been hot again. That would have been bad.
Imagine all of them making a pop song. I don't think they would have done it though.
5 MCs trying to do a pop song
I don't think
together.
all 5 of them would have made a pop song together. I think they're better than that.
It would have been like Roll Deep's like crappy attempts at
Yeah,
pop. You know what I mean?
hated their attempts.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
no, they're not. I don't think they would have. All 5 would. Nah, that would have been yuck. All 5 on a pop song. Go away.
So, go on.
I genuinely think like the movement, other than the bars, as a group or collective, whatever you want to call it, didn't really have much of an identity, other than just being like 5 bars that came together to just rap. So in
That is their identity.
That's all you need.
is it?
Depends
Well,
how far,
okay,
how
so-
far are you trying to
at
get
that
to?
time?
But how far are you trying to get to?
Well, I mean, clearly
'Cause we
they didn't
weren't-
think. But,
sorry.
I mean, clearly they weren't that committed to the idea. That's why they didn't do a whole lot.
So what were their identities individually? Like, what's Ghetts' identity? You see him as a barsman, right?
Yeah, it's a bar.
Scorch, same thing.
Yeah,
Mercston, same thing. Devlin, same thing.
yeah, but why didn't they come together then behind that more long term?
Because it's like how many different personalities, man.
Because of politics.
Groups, how do you know how hard it is for like groups to do a thing, man? Come on.
It's not that hard.
I think it is, man. Considering that these men were already on their own individual
man.
journey.
But that's what I'm saying.
And it speaks to more so them being a collective than a group. But
Yeah,
I think it was always going to be tough, though, man.
I think
it-
again, it goes back to the definition. If we're talking about them being a collective, it's always going to be harder for collectives. Groups do very well.
Yeah.
Like even whether they break up or not, they do very well. Collectives, it's a lot harder because there's not that responsibility to be around each other 24/7 like there is with a group. With a collective, you can get away with not doing as much because you're not a group. You're not tied together in that respect. So in that respect, I guess they were never meant to be.
Yeah.
They were only supposed to be a collective that came together for a little bit and went their separate ways.
I see Wretch and Scorcher a lot together, playing football. Because we used to go to Northumberland Park to kick ball, and they used to always be together. They should have given us a lot more music.
Why didn't you tell them to make more music?
I don't know, man. I was in like year 8.
I mean,
9.
yeah, ears to the streets.
Hey, man, I did. Teacher training day came out by year 10. I don't know why he didn't. If
So
them
do you
two
think,
people-
as a collective, they have a legacy?
I think it's.
Beef and Wiley.
I think they do, but I think it's a if you know type thing, if that makes sense. I don't think they've got out a legacy in terms of UK rap or UK hip hop. But I think if you know who they were, they're forever gonna have a legacy on you.
But if they decided today, yo, lads, we're dropping something.
I think people want to tune in.
I think people get excited.
I think it'll be on. I think it will, like Trench will cover it, Complex will cover it. I think it will be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a no one cares. I think it'll definitely be a thing, and you'll see it in the covers of everywhere.
Yeah,
But we're never gonna get that.
yeah.
I hear that. Friend to the show, Jesse Bernard, he wrote an article about the movement actually on
I was
Trench.
reading that when kind of talk about the topic.
I'm trying to find it.
I think I've got it up on my phone. You know.
But yeah, he basically called them like the super group that never was basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much for the same reasons that we oh there you go. Thank you, bro.
No worries. I did my research.
Yes. Oh, tempo specialist. I didn't realize. I'll just read the last paragraph. After years of frustration, the profile they had raised as a collective unit, so 3 of 5 heard regularly on radio still to this day. While that may have not been the goal for others, the movement was a point in time where a group of talented individuals embraced collectivism ahead of personal gain, if only for a brief moment. So, I guess it was only ever meant to be brief.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what supergroups are, innit? LeBron was going to spend in Miami his whole career. He came, conquered, went home.
Yeah.
I think that's how you view them. They weren't meant to stay together forever.
Yeah, they came in, and they're respective as a collective and individually.
And they've got 2 of the top 5 UK golds. That's big. In one collective, 2 of the top 5.
One.
That's Wretch and Ghetts are top 5.
Get this?
You're such a hater. You honestly mean that? Wretch ain't in your top 5?
No.
All jokes aside.
No.
Wretch is not in your top 5 UK.
No.
That's surprising, though.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you're trolling right now.
He's
I
not
don't. I
He's not in my
genuinely
top 5.
Wretch 3-2.
He's not in my top 5. Do
Jermaine,
you want to keep?
can you just say to the top
I'll shout
5? Can
to
you
my-
reel it off
top five.
quickly? Can you reel off your top 5 quickly?
My top 5.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Skep, Dizzy, Ghetts, Kane. I struggle with the 5th one, but it's definitely not Wretch.
Probably J Huss.
Nah. Either Wiley, Cass is Dead, or J Huss, actually.
I feel like you're trolling me. One
I'm not.
One
I'm
lie, I
not
feel
trolling
like
you.
you're trolling me.
I'm not trolling you. I'm dead serious.
Legit.
And you know what it is? I said on the first episode of this pod that he was. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said
Are you
that.
actually fishing or are you being one?
Why do you keep asking me that?
'Cause
I'm being for
You know
real.
you. I don't know if you know his.
I'm being for real.
Do you think he's being
I'm
sarcastic?
being
or do
for
you think
real.
he's being for real?
No, I think he's being.
I'm being for real, bro.
Now I think he's being for real.
No, because you know why I don't think he's being serious.
Why?
I said he goes. I don't know who's 5th. Then he reeled off 4 people's names. That's not Wretch 32. That means Wretch 32 is like 9th in his list.
He's top 10 for sure.
What are we doing here? A whole Wretch 32?
Yeah, but that's
That's all right,
his
though.
list though, man.
No, there's something wrong with that list.
Wait, is that an objective list or your personal 5?
Personal,
Okay, well, I'm saying
Objectively,
objectively. I'm
it's
saying
top 5.
objectively.
lyrically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that.
Oh, I meant objectively. This is just
We'll have to talk about that.
objectively.
We'll talk about that.
Well, the movement's legacy, in my opinion, is objectively they've got 2 of the top 5 UK rappers ever, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. I would like more respect on Mercston's name though. I don't think people realise how.
I'd rather Scorcher get that.
Scorch deserves it too.
I think Scorcher deserves it.
Scorch deserves. I think they both do for sure.
Bro, I used to rap Scorcher's.
Yeah, no, they both do.
What?
But Mercston for me, he was always quite special. He was always special to me.
Devlin-
I never thought he got his just due.
Devlin was the only one I never listened to. I listened to all of them, but Devlin I never used to tune in for.
I think out of all of them,
should listen to him.
if we keep it a buck, Mercston might be the most complete as far as like being a barer, being able to make songs for the girls, and just the overall artistry. But obviously, I mean, he had legal issues as well, so that derailed his career. But I think because of that, yeah, he weren't really getting his just.
Scorcher was the one that destined to go furthest.
Yeah.
He could bar.
That
he could make
Dark
music,
Knight
he had
era,
look,
it was
everything,
different.
bruv. He was set to go.
Simply the Best Volume 1, Simply the Best
Fam,
Volume
talk
2.
about
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
talk about it. That's
Yes,
it.
I thought Scorch was going to be the one. I thought he was going to be the one. I didn't think Wretch was going to be as good as he ended up being.
What's that?
I didn't think Wretch was going to be as good as he ended up being because I thought Scorch was the one.
Wretch was my bruv, after Teacher Training Day came out 2006, 7, which would be a 10 year 11. As soon as that tape came out, I was done.
I was late on Wretch.
It was done.
I came into Wretch retrospective.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No, I caught Teachers Training Day because it was in Tottenham as well, innit? I remember one of my boys had it and he played it in his yard. I'll never forget. Aaron played it in his house. Yeah, 10. Oh, we went crazy. Hope burned it quick. Went to my house. You don't know the half about my life. A part of me is
Hood
Christ.
memories with you, Mohammed
I'm a
Yusuf.
cool kid, born in March 1985. People don't know that. People don't know that. That's Wretch. My life, Teachers Training Day.
Tottenham Oracle.
Can I say
Mohammed
that?
Yusuf.
Second song on the album. If I get that right, I'm crazy.
Tottenham Almanac. Mohammed Yusuf.
Almanac.
Yes. Peter's the R&B Almanac. You're the Tottenham Almanac. And I'm the alt Almanac.
Hey,
Clearly.
man.
Underground Almanac.
It works.
But yeah, man, shout out to the movement. Shout out to Mercston, Wretch 32, Ghetts, Devlin, and Scorcher. Your reign, even if it was brief, will never be forgotten. All right, guys, we're now going to move on to the final topic, the fun topic. Now, following on from our last episode where we named the best US hip-hop producer alive every year since 1990, I set us a challenge to basically do the same thing for the UK, starting from the year 2000. And we're here. Now, what we're going to do is we're basically going to do the same thing, same format where we name each year. We're not following an article or anything. This is literally off the dome and what we've decided. And we're going to go through every year from 2000 to 2021. And this should be very, very fun. Pre-pod, Mo let us know, and Peter, to be fair, to a lesser degree, let us know how struggling they were. So this should be fun.
That's an understatement of all understatements.
Jeez.
We are
Alright, cool.
That shows how young we are in the game, by the way. Side note.
What do you mean?
It was so difficult to find producers in 2000s.
I suppose.
Do you know what I
We
mean?
were like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Peter would have been bored. If we'd done that American to 75 to 2020, he would have done it. You know what I mean? You
I
would
hear
have.
that.
I don't know why you looking at me like that. You wouldn't have.
That joke was funny last week, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, you're not old head anymore.
Nah,
All right, we move on. My fault.
All right, we're going to start with the year 2000. So I had Mega Man and Oxide and Neutrino. Mega Man did Oh No by Soul Solid Crew, and Oxide and Neutrino did Bound for the Reload.
I agree.
I
I'm
agree.
with that.
Yep.
I agree.
Who did you have, Mo?
No one.
No one? Who'd you have, P?
Yeah, I had Mega Man.
Okay, cool.
Got Mega Man in the 01 as well, though.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, 2001 then. I had Mega Man as well for the They Don't Know album by Soul Solid Crew.
Yeah.
Is that a Full House?
Yeah.
Mega Man and G Man, yeah.
G-Man as well. All right, cool. Shout out to G-Man. 2002, the birth of grime. Well, people say that grime was born in 2001, but it really took effect in 2002. Who did you guys have?
Wiley.
Wiley.
Yeah, for Esky Beat. Yeah, man. Creating grime in itself. Yeah, man. You got to give him that.
It's yours.
Yeah. That year he was on crud, innit?
I hear that. I had a tie. I had Wiley and also had Mike Skinner.
Oh, okay.
For Original Pirate Material by the Streets.
Okay.
He produced that whole album, so I can't not give that to him.
Yeah.
I had that there, but I never used to listen to the Streets, so I took it off.
Should listen to Original Pirate Material though.
For real.
100%.
Check it out.
Great album. And special shout outs to Danny Weed for producing Creeper and Musical Mob for producing Post X as well.
Yeah, big up Danny Weed. Damn, I ain't heard that name in time.
Precisely, man. Precisely. Listen, grime originators for sure. 2003 now.
Full House.
I gave it to Dizzy.
A Full House. That's
Boy in the Corner, yeah.
Pretty simple, man.
Dizzy Rascal for Boy in the Corner as well.
I know he had a couple of co-productions with other people helping.
But he had the crux of it, innit?
Yeah,
He done the crux of it.
yeah.
He did. So yeah. Shout out Dizzy. 2004 now. Who'd you guys have?
I had Wiley because of Treading on Thin Ice, but also Mike Skinner purely for Blinded by the Lights. Yeah, that was an amazing.
Fit What You Know as well. Dry Your Eyes.
Yeah, all of that. He had a hell of a year, man.
Okay, that makes sense. I struggled on that, yeah. But I see why.
I had Wiley as well.
Yeah.
Treading on Thin Ice.
Yeah.
Just the actual song Treading on Thin Ice.
Yeah.
Stupid. Very, very stupid. 2005 now.
Did you have?
I had Rapid from Rough Squad for Guns N' Roses Volume 1. Who'd you guys have?
I had Da Vinci, man, for P's and Q's. I just don't
For
think
that one song?
Yeah, there just wasn't a better song.
Doesn't
made
that go
than
against what you said last week?
But that was the best beat of the year.
I'll give you that.
No one made a better song than that, and that's arguably top 5 grand songs ever.
Dancing.
I'm not dancing though. No, I ain't dancing. I'm telling you.
This guy looking like Michael
What do
Jackson.
you mean?
Thriller,
Guys
bro.
said-
This guy looking like Michael Jackson at Thriller right now, but I
you
respect
mean?
it. No, I respect you. I respect you. I respect
Bro,
you.
what do we judge our producers of beats, right?
Yep.
Okay then.
I
If
agree.
you make the best beat of the year, arguably top 5 gram songs ever, what?
I'll be honest with you. Peter got me. I'll give it to
I
Da
don't
Vinci as
understand.
well.
And he gave us Brown Eyes.
I'll give it to
yeah,
Da Vinci as
man,
well.
full back, man.
I'll give it to Da
Big
Vinci
up
as
Prince Rapid, though. That's my
He got
favorite
me.
UK producer.
Oh, man. Honorable mention to Da Vinci, though, because he did produce P's and Q's, one of the greatest
you
songs
go.
of all time.
Salute to Da Vinci.
That's not what you said last week, but it's cool. Cool. 2006 now. I had Wiley for his Tunnel Vision series. He just dropped a bag of mixtapes that year. And I also had an honorable mention to JME for Serious.
Okay. I had Prince Rapid for Guns N' Roses Volume 2. And an honorable mention was Wiley.
See, I had Jamie, but I also had Mark Ronson because he's done Back to Black. And he's from the UK.
Like
I was
Amy
struggling.
Winehouse?
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse, the rapper.
Hey,
Isn't it?
I was struggling. I don't know what you
wrong
guys,
with this guy,
what you guys
man?
want me to do. I was struggling. You might have acted like this wasn't it. This wasn't an easy task. You might didn't give me a task that's very easy. 192, I'll reel it off like that right now in America off the top of my head.
Well, we're trying to take this to the next level, bro.
I hear you, bro.
No, also honorable mention to Sway for This Is My Demo.
Oh, that's a good
Did he produce that?
Yeah, most of it. Yeah, Little Derek, Up Your Speed. Yeah, man.
Sweet. Salute to Sway. Yeah, that's dope. Didn't even know that. Cool. Fun fact. All right. 2007. I had a tie, but I'll let you guys go first.
Bro, who you got?
Skepta,
For
greatest hits.
okay, yeah, I Skepta too.
I Skepta for greatest hits.
Yep. I had Skepta for Greatest Hits, and I also had Rebound X for Rhythm and Gash.
Okay.
Rhythm and Gash. Like,
Great show.
still gets a reload even to this day. So, yeah. I think that's the like one of the biggest examples of like you being like the producer of the strength of like one song. And it's just a beat and one like girl just all over it. So, you know, salute to Rebound X, wherever the hell you are, because no one can find you. 2008, I had a tie as well. I had Boom Productions for their work on Giggs' Walk in the Park. And I also had Plastician for Intensive Snare with Skepta.
I had Prince Rapid for Top 3 Selected. I don't think there was a harder song that year. And I had Boom Productions as well. What's
Do you know I'm
funny?
laughing? Do you know I'm laughing? Because generally I thought you was going to go against doing one songs a year.
What do you mean?
Because that's what you was against.
Yeah, but bro, look at the songs that I'm picking though.
What's top three selected?
Bro, top 3 Selects is probably might be top 10. What are you talking about, bro?
I hear you. I hear you.
Don't piss me off, bro.
What's that anger coming from, brother man?
understand, bro.
Brother man.
You were here. James, you were here as well, yeah?
Yo, Dan, you was here, right?
Whoa, what did I say? What did I say? I don't understand.
You was here last week.
What did I say? Drakes, what did I say? I don't remember. What did I say?
Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Who did you have, Mo?
I had it blank. I'll be honest with you, I struggled.
So wait, this guy's yapping, yeah, and he had it blank.
All right, cool. You had a blank. So we're going to put Boom Productions in there.
Yes.
Cool. All right, then. 2009. Mohammed, who did you have for 2009?
This was a dark year. This was like the beginning of a very dark
be honest
time in the
with you,
UK, man.
This coincided with
this is why-
the change of the music.
Yeah, this is when I honestly became a Black Moon, and I struggled.
It's like hearing like Tayo Cruz
Yeah,
and that, man.
and I put Skepta here, but I don't remember why. But I think I forgot to put the reason why. But I feel
You
like
dropped Microphone Champion.
that's why I did. That's why I done Skepta. But I did put Skepta on here. But I'll be honest with you, after this year, guys, I just want the audience to be aware. There's going to be a 4-year period. Or a strong 3.
Can we just get to watch?
When your brother's on the ropes.
Well, we're not going to hear nothing from you.
Hey, I'm going to be on the ropes.
Feel you.
Ropes.
Pete, who'd you have for 2009?
I'd skip.
Skep?
Yeah.
I had Darky Freaker for Temper T's Next Hype.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, big up Darky Freaker.
yeah, big up Darky Freaker. Like,
Big up Dark Freak.
very, very big song. Very, very big tune. But shout out to Skep as well. I didn't even think of Skep. Right, 2010.
I had Labyrinth.
I had Labyrinth as well. Off the strength of Pass Out
Yeah.
by Tiny and Frisky by Tiny as well.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have anybody.
Hey, man.
Cool. We'll move on then.
Wait, you gave it to Labyrinth off the Pass Time Free. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Like,
He was
Pass Out.
definitely the hottest, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see the dark cloud
Yeah.
coming. Because that period there,
Hold on. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like you man's energy. I'm still like, I mean what you man was saying previously, like I'm bothered by it, innit? But let me just like explain something, innit? What you have to understand, yeah, is that like our scene and the US scene is not the same, innit? Unfortunately,
We have to understand.
Unfortunately, we didn't have as many like albums as the US, innit? So it's a lot easier over there
at the
to like
asterisks.
to judge producers based on bodies of work
Look at the
as opposed
caveat.
to here. I'm just saying though. So yeah, I just wanted to let that be known, innit?
This guy was bad, bruv.
I didn't like
you know
it,
how
man.
P was burning?
I didn't like it.
Yo, do you know how P was burning?
Go on.
It's not like him, yeah. Yo, P left it alone. He went through 2 more rounds. Nah, hang on a minute, man. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get signed
nah,
out my
man, I've got to
chest.
get off my
Listeners
chest, man.
and everybody watching, I urge you to go back to the last episode, skip to about, an hour and a half in, when we finished the topic about best hip hop producers, and hear what this guy's got to say.
Previously on the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast.
But sometimes you can't deny just how impactful one single is, and that is what can jettison someone to being a producer of the year.
It's the other way around for me.
I was just about to say that because
I'm always gonna look at
Soundwave
albums,
is.
man. Listen, man.
We'll let the people decide, innit?
Listen, man.
We'll let the people decide.
Whatever, man.
We'll let the people decide.
We'll do a
innit?
side by side video.
Moving swiftly on then.
They do it.
We should
They
definitely do that.
that.
Side by side video. See the way he barked at me for saying something he said last week. Well, what do I know?
Whatever, man.
Moving swiftly on then to 2011. Yeah, man. Another mad year. I had Teddy Music for the Power remix. Need for Bills with Power remix.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have anybody?
Nah. It was a dark time, man. It was the blackout. These were the blackout years.
Yeah, this was definitely
It was
like the
lockdown.
darkest time.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
Yeah, I don't have, bro.
Wow.
I tried.
Bro, this is similar to when like
tried.
Europe was uncivilized and then the Moors came through and civilized.
'Cause you
They,
know how-
they brought showers.
You know how no Yemi
they brought
struggled?
universities. This was like the time
They
where
brought
like
university.
this is like when the UK scene was just completely done out.
The scene.
The
You know how-
scene was
yo,
done.
Do you know how no Yemi struggled?
Go on.
This guy gave it to one. He only
Yeah, I know,
Power
I know,
remix.
it's like-
He gave it to someone that produced a Power remix. That's how no Yemi struggling.
That was definitely a struggle.
Yeah, do you know what? But say one single. Let's go.
Listen, I feel that every year, but as much as it was a struggle for you, it was a struggle for me as
Yeah,
well.
like, this is difficult.
Trust
This
me,
is difficult.
it was definitely a
There
struggle.
was some years I was just like, you know what?
We're now going to move on to the year that I struggled with the most.
What, 2012?
2012.
Yeah.
2012 was a struggle. Like, we were really in the trenches, in the doldrums.
No, honestly, there was a dark age. There was a dark age of UK.
Dark age,
Dark
bro.
age of UK. music.
You might.
Dark. Oh
So,
my God.
let me just get my one out of the way.
Go on.
So, Plan B, you know Plan B,
Yeah.
I know for
dropped an album called Ill Manners. And it was produced by a guy called Al Shucks. So I gave it to him. I also gave it to everyone that produced on Skepta's mixtape Blacklisted. So that's Matthew Walker, Nisha, JME, Jules, Ralph Hardy, Thomas Mellor, and Raf Riley.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys have anybody?
Blackout.
Short season.
Yo, this is, I can't lie to you. The
That's a
stadium's
blackout.
empty right now, fam.
Yeah.
That was. Oof.
Feel you?
Oof.
All right, cool. Well, I think we've passed the dark times now. Now we're going to move
Have
on
we?
to
Have we?
2013.
Who'd you have for 13?
The Heavy Trackers for German Whip.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Meridian Dan, German Whip.
I thought that too, but I didn't want to give it
makes
to him.
sense. That makes sense.
Why not?
I just don't know if it was
Who'd
enough.
you give it to?
For German Whip wasn't enough.
I don't know, man.
Who'd you give it to?
Wow.
I didn't think that beat was that tough.
I mean,
It was the biggest.
Personally,
Yeah,
It was the biggest tune of the
yeah, we
biggest
can't
one,
escape
yeah.
it.
It was
Biggest.
that more than anything. I mean, we've spoken about it in the pod. Like that was the rebirth of grime. So I think you have to give it to him.
Who'd you give it to?
I didn't give it to anyone. A blackout.
Also, you don't even want to give it to him.
No, I'll get it. He was the person I was going to give it to if I had to, but I
My-
think objectively I know what it done, but personally it didn't really hit for me like that.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Yeah. Cool. 2014 then. This might be a full house, but what did you guys have?
My blackout ends in 2015.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, my blackout
Same.
ends in 2015.
Skepta. That's not me.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Was that year?
I didn't know that was that
Okay.
year.
Damn.
Because my blackout ends in 2015.
Okay.
I
I'll
like
say,
it.
say, I'm with
Yeah,
you.
Fair enough. Alright, cool. Yeah, well, I had Skepta for That's Not Me.
We can give it to Skepta.
we give it. That's a full house.
Yeah, I think we can give it to Skepta.
He's had quite a few in it.
Yeah.
I think he's about to have a few more.
had quite a
Well, at
few.
least for me anyway.
He's gonna have a couple more.
All right, 2015. I'll start with you, Mo, because that's where your blackout.
I went with Swiffer because he done Man Don't Care
Yeah.
and Wheel Up from Made in the Manor. So
I gave it to Swifter as well.
Yeah.
I hear that. I gave it to Skepta
Oh.
and Swifter.
Okay.
Skepta was kind of just everywhere. He was doing a lot. Like, even if he wasn't doing like big singles, he was doing like, he did, he hopped on the Jumpman thing. I know that's not his production, but he was just doing a lot production wise. And it was around the time when he was like properly bubbling up before the album. So I gave it to him for that. And Swift the Beat I gave for Man Don't Care. And I also gave honorable mentions to Zeph Ellis, aka Dot Rotten, for the Garish Skank freestyle beat, which is named something else, but it's in like Roman numerals. I gave it to Sir Spyro as well. He did a song with Big H and a couple others, Side by Side. And I also gave it to friend of the show, Rags Original, for Shutdown.
Yeah,
by Skepta.
honorable mention for sure.
Cool. 2016 then.
I got Skepta.
Skepta.
Yep.
I've got Skepta as well.
Yeah, I've got Skepta.
Very clearly.
And I gave an honourable mention to Mo's best friend, Steel Bangles, for Mist's Carla's Back.
Hey.
I gave an honorable mention to Fraser T. Smith for T-shirt Weather in the Manor on Kano's album. I really, really love that beat. And also Swifter for Free Wheel Ups.
Ooh,
Who are you?
not mad at that at all. Cool. Now we're reaching more comfortable territory now. We're now on 2017, around the time when, you know, this thing was bubbling up. UK, we could finally hold our heads up and all that good stuff outside of grime. Mohammed, who did you have for 2017?
2017. Sorry, I've got a blank. I'm just trying to load it up now.
I mean, I already know who you got.
J Huss. No, I don't have anyone for 2017. I think I've. Yeah, no, blank.
You ain't got no one for 2017?
No, J5. I'm bugging. But I put Huss's name there instead, so it's a bit confusing. I've got J5. Sorry.
I was going to say.
Yeah, do you know it was Huss's name was there? So I'm reading. I'm like, nah, this don't make sense. But I think I was meant to put J5.
Yes, I had
he's-
J5 as well.
He's got a few more coming.
J5 too.
J5 as well. I gave an honorable mention to Still Bangles again for Fisherman from J Huss's album
Yeah.
Common Sense. So, yeah. 2018, I had Novelist
Same.
for his debut album, Novelist Guy. Novelist generally is just one of the most underrated, not just artists, but producers in the game. Like, grime, drill, all of it. Like, he can do it all. So, shout out to Novelist. Who did you have, Mo?
Blank. But I'll give it to Novelist.
Cool.
Sorry, I tried. This one it gets easy though. This one's pretty simple for me, 2019, and it's off one song.
Go on then.
I'll give it to J Huss, just off Location.
J5, you mean?
J5. What am I wrong with you? I said that like 4 or 5 times. So I'll give it to J5. Just you know that one song that you didn't think that you thought lost, but you think this, yeah, same thing. So I give it to him
That
off
was
based off Location.
unnecessary.
Sorry.
That was completely unnecessary.
I give it to him based off Location.
I gave it to J5, but off the strength of options.
Oh, for real?
Tion and NSG.
I gave it to him based off. Yeah.
Well, I forgot about Location,
Yeah.
but Location options, yeah.
I gave it to Inflow,
What do you do?
based on.
Grey Area, and Salt.
Fair dues. It makes sense now. Now we're now on the projects with Pete. we're past the singles. I also gave an honorable mention to Quez Darko for his work on Slow Ties. Nothing Great About Britain. Okay, 2020. Pete, who'd you have for 2020?
J5.
J5. Cool.
Honorable mention to Inflow as well
Obviously.
for Clear Souls projects.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Cleo Soul the rapper. Mohammed.
Full House.
I had J5 as well for Big Conspiracy. I also gave an honorable mention to M1 on the Beat for the Only You freestyle, Heady One and Drake.
Oh, fair enough. That's a good shot.
Yes. Okay. And we've now reached the final year, 2021. Probably the one I'm going to agree with Pete the most. I had Inflow for Little Sims.
Yeah.
You had Inflow as well?
Yep.
You had inflow as well?
Yep, Little Sims.
Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, cool. Well, that's that then.
Oof, that was a struggle.
Was it?
Yeah, man. Was it easy? Actually,
It was
I must say-
definitely a
Yeah,
struggle.
it was. Do you know what it is? It's just because it's so new. And Google, like, even when you're trying to Google certain producers, it was difficult, man. It was difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I think Google's not our friend in that respect because, you know, a lot of the stuff that was going on, especially with the UK stuff, was so underground. There's no real record of it.
So I don't mean to cut you off. So we say we're better than Google when it comes to UK rap.
I mean,
Pretty much.
yes, because we lived it. We went through it, you know what I mean?
Hey, man.
Unless you're going to go through like Rewind Mag forums and all those kind of like, you know, grime spot for those blog spots from back in the day and stuff. You're not going to really know the essence. Like from an online standpoint, you kind of had to live it sort of thing. But this did let me know that, you know, from 2000 to 2021, we have seen like shifts sonically. Like where like we start with Mega Man, we've ended with Inflow. You can see the differences, you know, garage to like all-encompassing rap and whatever Inflow wants to do any particular day, really. Via, Wiley, Skepta, you know, all these people. It kind of just shows how wide ranging and how varied the scene has been, even if it was difficult to find who was actually doing bits. So all I've got to say is salute all those people, man. Like
Hey, man.
they've done their thing. And UK producers generally, man, they need more flowers. So
You know what?
to all the UK producers.
You know what this shows me? When we're just talking about UK GOAT, all encompass, just the word GOAT, it's never been more evident that it's Skepta. This guy won like 25% of the producers' awards the year that we think, and then on top of what he's given us, rapping as well. That just proved.
I'm not mad at that.
Hey, man.
I'm
You
not
know what I
mad
mean?
at that. I think he's the GOAT producer, for sure.
Yeah. And on top of what, he's already top 5 rapper. I think
Him and Wiley.
all encompassed, he's top 5 that we've ever had. Whichever way just artist that we've had.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, he's top 5. He's
Top 2.
Sorry, he's the best to me.
Top 2, probably.
Yeah. Top 2?
Even if, you know, he doesn't necessarily have the bars, he's got everything else.
Hey, man.
So, and he's got the accolades as well. So, you kind of can't deny him that.
Hey, man.
I
Salute
put
to top.
Wiley in the top producers category as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
can't argue that, really.
Exactly.
J5.
J5, 100%. Okay,
Inflow.
I mean, since we're here.
Yeah.
So
Inflow.
Skep, Wiley, J5, you put Inflow in the top 5.
Yeah. Based on Little Sims.
All time.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I
If
don't
he
say it's
continues what he's doing.
Yeah,
it'll be-
because I think it. It's
Well, to be fair, I mean,
I don't think the list is dramatically hard to get. Not saying obviously the man ain't talented, but our producers list isn't as hard to get into.
but also,
Do you know
he's
what I mean?
been active as long as J5 has.
Yeah.
And J5's in the top 5. So,
We gotta give it to him.
I'm not necessarily mad at that. So, who's taking that 5th spot? Let me look at my list again.
You got.
You got Prince Rapid.
Good shout.
Not top 5 for me, but I feel you.
Let me see what I got on my list.
I think that top 5 is still up for grabs. I think.
Yeah, because after that, it's Dizzy's won it a couple times.
Mega Man.
Mega Man's won it a couple times. So unless you want to put Dizzy there, but it's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's still up for grabs, I think.
Yeah.
It's still there for the next producer to kind of grab it. But listen, let us know, listeners, who you think the GOAT UK producer is. Let us know who you think, you know, the greatest artist is
They're
from
kids,
the
man.
UK.
We're gonna go with J5.
I mean, that's not all our audience, sir.
Oh, true.
Like, we do have old heads like Pete listening. We have like, middleman like you, middleman like me sometimes.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
So, you know, let us know who you think the GOAT producer was. And on that note, we're going to sign off here. So thank you, everybody, for listening, tuning in and all that good stuff. Mo, Pete, any shout-outs you want to make before we head out?
Inflow. Big up Inflow.
Shout out to
Recently
Inflow.
won- What award did he win recently?
He won an award, or was he nominated?
Yeah, I think he might have been nominated then.
He received some kind of recognition from some awards. You know, forgive us for not remembering, but shout out to Inflow for sure.
Inflow. I don't have no one to shout out.
Yeah, cool.
Gosh, everyone that's fasting, inshallah goes well.
Hear you. Yeah, shout out to everybody observing Ramadan as well, once again. Shout out to everybody just doing their thing, man. Rappers, producers, you know, all that good stuff. You know, you're contributing, especially in the UK, you're contributing to something great. So carry on doing your thing, man. Shout out Unknown T as well for, you know, being in Bia's video, just all there for no reason. And just shout out the listeners as well, and the viewers, always and forever. All right. We're now going to sign off. So until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.